Prabhupada was somehow in this life we have got a body, a human form of body, and we could actually understand many things and help ourselves in making progress in spiritual life. And Prabhupada was kind of like stressing so much that we don't know our next destination, what kind of body we will actually get, and whether that kind of body will actually help us or will be suitable to continue the spiritual practices or no. So Prabhupada was raising this doubt, and he was insisting the audience, saying not to push further, not to procrastinate things, not to delay things, but to take things immediately, seriously. And Prabhupada always used to quote, saying that it's almost like a situation where there is a fire in the house, and we cannot actually delay things. When fire is there in the house, we cannot actually push things. We have to act immediately, and we have to take things very seriously and move forward. And he was stressing the need for all of us to actually take Krishna consciousness very seriously. So I was just meditating that we all of us are here, sitting here. We have no connection with each other at all. We are all connected. It is all because of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. And because of him, this whole movement actually started. And all of us are brought together, and now we are making an attempt. We are making an attempt to actually improve ourselves in our spiritual life by taking shelter of the holy name of the Lord. And our scriptures also very briefly or nicely describes that how it is very difficult to practice spiritual life in this material world. Our acharyas say that Nana Vida Vipadapar. It's like there is unlimited, so many varieties of problems that all of us have. Right? All of us have enough problems, right, in our life, yes or no? Yeah, in between all these problems, we are actually trying to practice spiritual life. We are trying to actually push ourselves and trying to actually somehow chant 1 round, 2 rounds, 10 rounds, 16 rounds, how much ever rounds we could actually chant. We are all pushing ourselves to chant the holy name of the Lord. We are all trying to pushing ourselves to read Srila Prabhupada books every day. It's actually a big struggle for anybody. When a person actually comes newly to Krishna consciousness, he doesn't have time at all. For him, how can he actually include, for him to actually include 1 round of japa in a day is actually a big mountain for him to cross, for a person to come who is coming inside, right? And slowly that devotee actually starts giving time to Krishna consciousness. He starts giving time, he starts increasing his japa, he starts increasing his giving of time to Krishna. He starts reading Srila Prabhupada books, he accepts the process of taking siksha, and he actually commits himself to various things in spiritual life, and he takes a lot of, with great difficulty, every devotee actually takes steps and moves forward in this Krishna consciousness. So it's actually a big struggle for all of us to practice Krishna consciousness in this material world. Right? We have so many problems. In between all these problems, we are all trying to practice Krishna consciousness here. So it's not an easy thing for anybody to practice Krishna consciousness in this material world. It's a big struggle for all of us. Yes or no? Right? So we have to somehow accommodate each other's difficulties, adjust to each other's difficulties. Like we know everybody is struggling. Just like Prabhupada's God brothers, they used to always give an example saying that ISKCON is like a hospital, right? And all kinds of diseased people only come and sit inside this hospital, right? We all of us have diseases. We all of us have varieties and various kinds of disease. And with all that disease, we are all sitting inside. And we all actually have some kind of baggage that we are actually carrying and coming here. And all of us somehow, by the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, we get some space, we get some accommodation here. And we need to actually be little bit accommodative to other devotees also, allow other devotees also to come and participate. That's what mercy is all about. Mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy means it is like everybody is accommodated here. There is nobody who is like barred, or nobody who is like kept aside, that you are not eligible. There's nothing like you are not eligible. Anybody who is interested is eligible in Krishna consciousness. That's what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement is. It's a very merciful and magnanimous movement that everybody gets included, everybody gets accommodated here, everybody gets a place here, everybody gets a shelter here in Srila Prabhupada's home. And all of us come together, though if we are, our attitudes, our frequencies doesn't match, still we all come together, we adjust to each other, tolerate each other, we develop patience here, and we all of us practice Krishna consciousness and let others also practice Krishna consciousness. So that's the home that Srila Prabhupada has actually built in. And we should actually learn, when we are in Krishna conscious movement, we should actually learn to be very tolerant and patient and be merciful to others, be very accommodative to others. It is very easy to actually pinpoint at somebody and then show that you are at fault. But it's very difficult to actually accommodate and saying that it's okay, I am at fault. It's okay, let me take that fault at me, kind of like that. So it requires a lot of maturity to actually stay here in this movement for years together and still practice in Krishna consciousness and still accommodate everybody's diseases and know our disease and accordingly engage, dovetail our capabilities in the service of Srila Prabhupada's movement. So it actually takes a lot of learning. In fact, the whole of our life is actually for learning. We all are here to learn, and there is unlimited amount of things to learn, because Krishna, we cannot know Krishna at all. Krishna is like ocean. I was again hearing in the morning, Prabhupada was comparing that we are all in same quality with Krishna. Just like how sea water is salty, similarly a drop of that sea water is also salty. We are all actually a sample Krishna. Prabhupada was saying that. But in quantity we are minute, but Krishna is huge. So we all of us have that qualitative oneness is there with Krishna. Right? So we need to actually somehow understand saying that each of us here are spirit souls. Each of us here have a home in the spiritual world. For all of us, Krishna is the Father. And we all are connected. And we all need to actually see each other as a spirit soul. Somehow or other, we have all come inside this material body and we are all struggling here in this material body. And the only way for all of us to actually take shelter of, or the only place where we can take shelter of and help ourselves, is by chanting of the holy name of the Lord. Because that is the only medicine for all of us. There is no other medicine which will actually work apart from chanting of the holy name of the Lord. So it's quite important for all of us that we take up the chanting of the holy name of the Lord seriously. How much ever we are doing, there is still a step ahead for us to actually improve ourselves. If we are chanting only few rounds, we can actually chant much more rounds than what we can. So if we are chanting nicely every day, we can increase the quality of chanting. Quality of the chanting means, Prabhupada used to say that every mantra that we actually chant, we hear that mantra. That's what quality chanting means. So we chant the mantra and then we hear. Because mantra, when we chant, it has to go inside the ear and then it does the process of cleansing when it goes inside the ears. Right? So Prabhupada used to also say that even a parrot can actually chant. Like our chanting should not be a parrot chanting. But Prabhupada used to say that our chanting should be a cry for help of the Lord. That I need help. I am suffering here. Like I'm sure all of you would have actually seen a picture of in ISKCON where a person is actually in the middle of the ocean and he is actually lifting his hands and crying for the help of the Lord, and the Lord is actually coming Garuda Vahana there. Right? Our situation is actually like that. Every time when we are chanting the holy name of the Lord, we should actually feel as if like, oh Lord, I need your help. It's actually a cry for help. I need help, I need help, I need help. It's actually a cry. So, are we chanting with that mood? That's a question mark we should ask ourselves. Right? So, there is opportunity for us to actually show our intensity or dedication to the Supreme Lord. There is an opportunity for all of us to increase our cry for the help of the Supreme Lord. The more we get sincerely cry, the more attention we actually get from the Lord. It's just like Prabhupada said, it's just like how a child's cry for mother's help. The child actually cries mildly, the mother will actually wait. She will be busy in her work and she will wait. But when once the child actually cries very intensely, the mother might drop everything and come for attending the child. Just like how Prahlad's situation was. Prahlad Maharaj, he was always crying. But then when the intensity increased, the Lord Nrsimhadev appeared there from pillar immediately. Right? It was not our Acharyas actually nicely described that Nrsimhadev's appearance was not a planned appearance. Right? It was like a sudden boom. The Lord actually came. Because Hiranyakashipu did not actually, he was not planning, saying that, oh, let me hit this pillar. The Lord is inside this pillar. Just in the course of conversation, Hiranyakashipu asked, is your Lord inside this pillar? He said, yes. Then immediately took the sword and broke that pillar. And the Lord has to suddenly appear there, inside that pillar. Though he was already there, though he is there everywhere, he has to still appear through that pillar. Right? But the Lord came because of Prahlad Maharaj. The Lord came to actually save Gajendra because of his cry for his help. In the same way, our scriptures, all of the incidences that are there in Srimad Bhagavatam is all actually are saying that how a devotee went through so much of struggle in his life and how despite all the struggle, he was not so much forgotten. He has not forgotten the Lord in solving the problems. Material world is something like you have enough problems and you get so busy in solving those problems all the time. Especially in a grahastha, in a family life, there is hundreds of problems all the time. All the time there are so many problems that we become so busy in solving those problems. One after another, we keep solving those problems. And we become so busy in solving those problems that we don't have time for remembering Krishna. But our Acharyas say that in between all this problem, we will have to somehow bring in Krishna also in the life and somehow remember Krishna and somehow make our life successful that the Lord actually turns his attention towards us. So that's the challenge we all of us have. Somehow we have to actually bring in Krishna. That somehow everybody have to make their way somehow. Right? So if, for example, today we are all here and you have a train to catch in Majestic in half an hour time. If somebody gives you a bike or a scooter, right, you have only half an hour, you have to go catch the train. Will you be bothering about what is happening around that time? No, right? In between traffic also we'll somehow squeeze in and come. I was actually in a hurry to come here because I was late. I called up Prabhu at around 4:50 and I said him saying I am late. Let me try to make it by 5:15. So I was actually seeing that people, I was trying to squeeze in here and come here, reach here. But there were other people who were trying to overtake me and now squeeze in and come there. Because they were even more urgent than me. Right? So based on the intensity the person actually takes up things seriously, that much he will not be bothered about the problems of material world. He will be little oblivious to other things that are happening here. He will not keep that time, he will not actually look at the billboards, he will not look at, oh, this is happening there, that is happening there. No, he will not look at all those things. His focus is only on going and reaching the place. Right? Similarly, in that way, we will have to keep Krishna as our destination in our life. Serving the instruction of spiritual master, pleasing the acharyas, we should keep that as the destination of our life. Taking the holy name as the only shelter in our life. So we should be little focused in what we want to do. Though there are 100 things appearing, some devotees also used to say, like people when they were in the youth, for example, when people were in the youth, teenage, they used to always care about their hair, right? In whatever they were actually doing, they used to actually make sure their hair is all proper, they adjust things and all those things. Involuntarily, the hand actually goes and adjusts that, right? It becomes involuntary action without any any planned thing. Involuntarily, it goes and happens. So, in the same way, we should also somehow add in Krishna in our life. It should actually become like amalgamated or gelled so intensely in our life that we cannot forget Krishna in our life. It should become so intense in that. So in that's how we should actually include Krishna in our life somehow. And Krishna is so beautiful that once we bring in our life, he captivates our mind so strongly that it becomes difficult for us, even if we want to forget, we cannot forget. That's the beauty of it. Even if we want, we cannot forget. There are many incidences of many devotees, they have taken up Krishna consciousness and eventually they left Krishna consciousness also, but still they cannot forget Krishna. They cannot forget Krishna. They somehow or other they get remembered of this Krishna consciousness, the mercy that they got from Srila Prabhupada's movement, and still they come back. After many years also they come back. And they know, saying that this is my only final shelter. Nowhere else I can actually get shelter, and this is my final shelter. So we have come to the right place. We have come to the right boat. The boat that Srila Prabhupada has created, the movement that Srila Prabhupada has created, this is the only place of shelter. And nowhere else we can actually get shelter of. And what we have got is the very precious medicine, the holy name of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This is the medicine for Kali Yuga. Erichi Aushadhi Maya Nachi Boralagi, Harinama Mahamantra Lava Tumi Magi. So this is the Aushadha. This is the medicine that we have all got. For all the problems that we all of us have, this is the only medicine that will work. No other medicine will work. Because all other medicines, all other solutions are just like patchworks. Small patches. It never actually gives a solution. If you really want a solution, the only solution is to actually take to the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, take shelter of the Acharyas, and go to the place as eternal spiritual abode where we will get freed from all the problems. And that is the proposal that the Lord has actually brought in. And yes, given that proposal in the form of Bhagavad Gita, in the form of Srimad Bhagavatam, in the form of association of devotees of the Lord, all that is there to actually increase our attraction for making use of this human form of life, rare human form of life, take shelter of the holy name of the Lord, take shelter of Srila Prabhupada's movement, and achieve success in each of our lives. Right? That's why this whole program is there. This whole program is somehow make our life successful. Each of us take responsibility of our own life. And if we are little stable in this practice, we can try to go and help others. We can extend our hand and in helping hands, help others also, so that they also become stable in this path of spiritual practice. And we all together make our journey. That's the intention or the purpose of this whole movement, is to not to go ourselves back home, back to Godhead. We are not here to actually go alone. We actually want to go as a big Sankirtan party, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Sankirtan party. So we all of us want to go, right? We all of us want to go, and we want Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to accept all of us. So we chant the holy name of the Lord, we make others chant the holy name of the Lord, we ask everybody to actually take shelter of the holy name of the Lord. It is not that we want to become great within this movement. We all of us want to show that Krishna is great. We all of us want to show Srila Prabhupada is great. We want to give all the credits to Srila Prabhupada, all the credits to the Supreme Lord, Sri Krishna. And we are always remain thankful for whatever they have given us, for the small shelter they have actually given us in this movement. We remain grateful, we remain thankful, and we always remain a servant in this movement and try to serve Srila Prabhupada's movement wherever and whatever position we may be put in. Right? That's our humble, simple attempt as a servant of our spiritual master, as a servant of Srila Prabhupada. Wherever we are, whatever we are doing, we always come back to the home. Right? Srila Prabhupada's place is our home, real home. Wherever we are, we go there and then we try to contribute something in a small way. As a servant of Srila Prabhupada, we contribute to this movement and then spend our time in remembering the Supreme Lord. Right? Our scriptures very clearly say that of all the instructions that are given in the scriptures, the topmost of all instruction is to always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. Smartavya satatam vishnu vishmartavyam na jatuchit sarve vidhi nishedayor. Right? Of all the instructions, this is the topmost instruction. To always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. Right? So we should all take this instruction to the core of our heart, take shelter of holy name of the Lord, and then be always connected to this movement so that we save ourselves and then we can also contribute something for this movement and help others. Right? I'll end here. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Did I do it justice?
It was very inspiring. The message, if I summarize, Father says, don't fight. Don't fight, stay with nicely and become responsible. These three words, like I said, has told us. And yes, definitely, being in Kalklaspura and the child of Bandhu Madhav Prabhu's, Prabhu's child of Bandhu Madhav. So we'll try to live by the instructions Prabhuji has given us. Thank you, Prabhuji. Now, I would request His Grace Akshita to speak some words.
Hare Krishna. So we are calling it as a farewell for Bandhu Madhav Prabhu, but then Bandhu Madhav Prabhu is going to be there every weekday in Bangalore. Only in weekend, he's going to be there away. It's okay. So, almost like, and I think some weekends also Prabhuji will be here, I think. So it is, no, I'm not feeling like it is a farewell. It is going to be a continuous association. It's going to be there, it looks like. So, but then still it is an opportunity to glorify a nice devotee. So I know Prabhuji maybe for last 17 years. When did we first meet, Prabhu? Maybe 2005, 2006, almost like 19 years, no? Like we know each other before his marriage days, no? Like we both were in the youth and we used to, I used to stay in the base and Prabhuji used to come from, he used to stay with your brother, Prabhu, that time, his brother. So like brother is also very scholarly devotee. And Prabhuji, once he had shared, so it's come from a Brahmana kind of background, and 4 regulative principles is something like very natural, and it is something not that is to be inculcated later point in time, after coming into Krishna consciousness. So it's quite natural, and Prabhuji was, once he had shared with me. So once he had shared with me that he learnt English for the sake of preaching, and he learnt this English, that too, like through Srila Prabhupada's books itself. And he used to say to us that he was right from the beginning, he was prepared for preaching. All the time he was like, we have to deliver this Krishna consciousness to others, and that urgency we can see that practice, nice practice, and also sharing it with people. So that is something like Prabhuji's focus is. And then Prabhuji used to tell about whenever we preach, we should get not one person as a devotee from the family. So we should actually get the whole family as a devotee. So, and in fact, when I first took charge of Whitefield, before me, like Prabhuji used to take care of this one. So because of some personal difficulties and things like that, he stepped down, and I was asked to take care of Whitefield congregation. So Prabhuji used to give this advice to us that when you are preaching to the families, like try to get the whole family into Krishna consciousness, and that will be helpful for them. Otherwise, one person thinks that like other person has already gone so much forward. So now if I have to start, he's senior and I'm junior. Now how to start? So that kind of complexities may come. So it is better to preach to families full, and also Prabhuji's attraction to reading Srila Prabhupada's books and hearing Srila Prabhupada's lectures is so amazing. And many of you may know, like he has got a very strict reading syllabus and reading schedule. So if he is not able to meet, so he will take a break and he'll go for a yatra only for reading. So it is nice, very, very inspiring, and very confident in the practice of Krishna consciousness and in the delivery of Krishna consciousness. And Prabhuji was, even now we saw that like how he was encouraging the intense practice of Krishna consciousness. So this is something very nice, that different ways of Krishna consciousness that we can practice. So but then taking it very seriously and taking it as our life and soul. This is something that Prabhuji is practicing, and also he is sharing with us. And I always fondly remember that first time we wanted to start our ACS layout center. So that time like we were all in confusion. So we were paying a rent of maybe 30K, not even 30K, like 15K from youth and 15K from congregation. So as a house that we were having, and we were supposed to move into a bigger place. That house was getting demolished, and we were supposed to move into a bigger place, and we had a commitment to pay of 65 to 70K rent, and all of us were thinking that how is it possible? And then we didn't find any way that we can pay that big rent and things like that. So then that time Prabhuji was the one who was telling just take it, Prabhu, we will see, Krishna is there. So that gave a lot of hope. And so Prabhuji has this nice risk taking ability in Krishna consciousness, and always encouraged us doing things bigger. And he's the, as I was mentioning, he's the original leader in the Marathalli, guiding the groups here. And also I fondly remember of the initial days Janmashtami organization. So Prabhuji used to lead from the congregation side, and I used to preach to the youths in the Marathalli area. So then we both used to come together during the time of Janmashtami. So we used to have nice planning and things like that. Bulk of the load Prabhuji would take. And today I was talking to Abhayanand Prabhu, so he was telling how nice time he spent. It is such a nice leaders. I spent really very, very nice working with Prabhuji. And in fact that time both of them used to whole night they used to sit and do the pamphlet design and things like that. So, and Coral Draw was completely new for them. Both of them used to used to experiment with that. So nowadays Canva and other stuffs have come. So that time it used to be difficult in making posters. So and we used to have nice fun organizing Janmashtami. In fact, our Marathalli congregation was known as Janmashtami congregation. So we used to get suddenly some different Josh altogether during Janmashtami. All of us come together, do a very big program, and then after that we will vanish for until the next year. So last year, I think our Srigor, who took charge of AECS center, and then he was asking, Prabhuji, it's a big budget. What is the fundraising strategy? And we were all laughing. We don't have any strategy. So then how it comes? So we raised, for your information, last time last year we raised almost 1.3 crores, as Janmashtami fundraising without any plan. So and Prabhuji was asking like, how it happens, and we were scratching our head how it happens. No, we never thought how it happens. No, but it just happens. So like devotees all put their endeavor very nicely during Janmashtami. So it was a very nice team, that our initial team, like we all used to have very very nice family kind of an atmosphere, and we used to now all of them are leading different areas in the Whitefield area, and then we also value his wonderful contributions in the in the like all over ISKCON Whitefield. We have a core team of devotees, like leaders. Sudhir Gopal Prabhu is there, Kartikeya Prabhu, Achyut Prabhu. Like previously, like we were only four. So like Yugal Kishore Prabhu, Sudhir Gopal Prabhu, Bandhu Madhav Prabhu, and myself. So like we used to have meetings, and then Prabhuji used to give very clear idea of what we are supposed to do. It was like the thought process is very clear. So in this way, like there are many wonderful glories of Prabhu there. It's like all of you may be knowing much more, like you are serving together and working together with Prabhuji here. So with this I pass my small account of remembrance of Prabhuji, and I give opportunity to other devotees as well. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. So, so this is glorification ceremony, and when we are talking about this is a unique way we celebrate in ISKCON. Either it's a birthday or farewell. So we in these programs we come to know about all good qualities about the person. Maybe we are staying with this person with day in, day night, day out, but we may not realize what good qualities they have. So but when we get to hear from others, this quality, hey, I know this is the great quality he has. I didn't notice, I didn't recognize this. When Prabhuji is saying, Bandhu Madhav Prabhu is such a kind of a great risk taker. And I remember actually when Janmashtami we used to celebrate Janmashtami in temple. I used to be in temple and Prabhuji used to be here. And I used to ask Prabhuji, kya budget hai? What budget you had? Prabhuji, we had hired a big hall and big prasadam cooking, and fund collection will be a big challenge. But after Janmashtami, I used to ask Prabhuji, status kya hai? Prabhuji, we are in surplus. They used to have a highest target and big plans for the Janmashtami, and all the time whole congregation together in the leadership of Bandhu Madhav Prabhu, they used to not just achieve the target, but they used to overcome the target with new heights, and every year they used to achieve newer and newer records for the Janmashtami. Either it is a number of footfall, the fund collection, or the number of activities they are doing in Janmashtami will be enormous. So now I will request His Grace Sudhir Gopal Prabhuji to speak some words. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So yes, it's for the first time coming to the center. Hare Krishna. Somehow or other, I was not able to come earlier. But of course, I had come during our Indradana Swami Maharaj program in that big hall. But to this center, yes. And really amazed, how beautiful this center has really come out. So, yeah, like, yes, we have been together serving for around 15 years. And especially I remember when Mahaprabhu used to speak about the devotees, he would speak in 5 mouths and still it would never end. And similarly, whenever we glorify the devotees, whatever we may speak, it's not enough. And last week only we were discussing that, like from the prayers of Prahlad Maharaj, whenever we offer something, it's not for the benefit of the Lord, it's for our benefit. So whenever we glorify some devotee, whenever we appreciate some devotees, through that our heart becomes fertile. We become recipient of more mercy. So it's not just any other way of just putting somebody, but the devotees are so rare. I remember Prabhuji's one of the favorite verse. Would like to hear? He quotes many times this verse. Durlava manusya deha dehina khena bhangura tatrapi durlabham manne Vaikuntha darshana, Vaikuntha priya darshana. So he always says that how rare is to get the association of devotees. Even today also he was really bringing out that how fortunate we are to come under the shelter of Srila Prabhupada. Right? Sometimes we might think that, oh, by accident, I am coming here. Or by, somehow I like prasadam, somehow I like kirtan, that's how we are going. It's not by chance or somehow. Right? It's a really fortune. It's a really fortune to come in the association of devotees. And much more important that we are coming in the association of devotees and under so sincere leaders who have really been dedicating their life only for the purpose of pleasing Srila Prabhupada or pleasing Prabhupada's disciples or spiritual master. And this is the one quality that really stands out whenever I think of Bandhu Madhav Prabhu. That how much he is really focused, like that Beva Sahitmika Buddhi. This will really please Prabhupada. Right? Like Prabhuji talked about the Janmashtami program, or like earlier all of us, from this area, we used to go to SNGM, our Narsimha Giridhari Mandir, as a Nityananda circle for sevas. And somehow, like of course now each of the center we have so many devotees, but at Nityananda circle also used to have sometimes cooking seva or sometimes plate washing seva. Hardly we have 5-10 devotees, and Prabhuji himself this time plate washing seva, next weekend cooking seva, the weekend after that kirtan seva. He would only do it. He will only because somehow or other we are very less, and somehow devotees had their own inertia. But Prabhuji was literally leading all the sevas from our circle. And somehow we are feeling bad that we are not able to support Prabhuji. But at the same time, it was really so inspiring that for each of the sevas, sometimes, of course, some of the devotees might not be so fortunate to be with Prabhuji, because Prabhuji, especially over last couple of years, because Prabhuji's son's health and some work commitment, he's not able to give us so much time as he used to give us during those days. Like he was always with the devotees. He was always spending time. As Harikata Prabhu was saying that, like not only on Janmashtami, of course Janmashtami days he will be the first one to come, last one to go. Whole night he will be there, and for each of the sevas he will be there. Not only as a leader to guide and to mentor and to supervise, but also to be an humble instrument in taking care each and every seva. That really amazing, right? Who has that vision, that strategic vision, and also who attention to the detail and also executing each level of details. Right? So that really admires us. That really gives us that hope. That yes, how can we so be ungrateful when we have the leaders who are really only with one mission to please Prabhupada, only with one mission to please spiritual master. How can we not really play our part and just be an instrument? Just follow them. Just follow them. Just by following them, our life will be successful. Right? We don't have to do any magic, or you don't have to do any drama. Prabhuji was just saying that also. We don't have to do any big things. You have to just follow whatever they say. Our life will be perfect. And that's the what the point that we are trying to say is that the glories of association, the importance of association, the glories of or the fortune of having these sound leaders, the great leaders that Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada's disciples or Maharaj, they have really given to us. We should be really fortunate. Like if we just realize the fortune that we have, being under these leaders, our life will not remain same. Because most of the times we realize it too late. we realize it too late. Sometimes either in the farewell season or or we are leaving to some other place. Right? We realize, whenever I was in Bangalore or whenever I was in center, I was releasing so much. But otherwise, whatever we have, we undervalue it, and whatever we don't have, we overvalue it. That is this nature of the crooked mind. But then, right, like every day, that's the reason we do Guru Puja. That's the reason we come together and really celebrate this association that we have, and to thank Srila Prabhupada, to thank our acharyas. Thank you for giving us this wonderful family. Without this, where we would have been? Where we would have been? Yes. Then one more important thing that Prabhuji always highlights, that how we are just insignificant. In most of his classes, you will hear this, that he would tell again and again, we are just like like the glowworm in front of the sun. How much glowworm can emit light? Yes, maybe on a dark night, which is this Kali Yuga, some glowworm can really gives a little bit light. But then what exactly it can give, right? If there is a midday when the sun is completely there, is there any potential of the glowworm? Nothing. Prabhupada always gives a very graphic example. You are just like a worm in the stool. Some of you must have heard this. Right? Yes, we need to realize who we are. And that's where, because Prabhupada has been telling again and again, he is making us realize that what is our insignificant position. At the same time, when we are coming in the association of devotees, when we are coming on the center of Srila Prabhupada and his glorious our spiritual masters, they empower us. They empower us to transform us from a kaka to Garuda. They transforms us, right? What do we need to do? We just need to just serve them. We just need to follow them, these devotees, and then Lord empowers us to become from Kaka to Garuda. And we have seen, of course, I would not say like whoever have come in this white field, right? Like they were the Kakas, but definitely we have seen how Prabhuji has transformed so many families. So many families, right? Really going to their lives, right? Spending so much with them. I know some families who are going through terrible health problem, terrible corporate health office problem, or this problem or that problem. How Prabhuji would stand always with them, and that's the kind of the power of the family. That's we feel so sheltered, right, in this extended family. That's what really Prabhuji makes us realize that yes, I am there with you. There are so many cases. There are so many cases how Prabhuji has really stood with them through thick and thins. This is what really a true leader is. Not only he is really giving that shelter, but also just over a period of time, he made them a great leaders. So now we see, right, in Whitefield we have now so many centers, either here or we talk about in ACS or Inner Circle or Panatur, so many devotees, we see there are so many families cultivated by Prabhuji, groomed by Prabhuji. Now they have been taking big responsibilities, right? This is another quality of a true leader, is that he doesn't create just only followers, he creates leaders. Because most of the leaders, what they do, okay, they create a lot of yes men. But that Prabhuji has really created wonderful leaders who has now, they have really stepped up, they have really, taking so much of responsibilities for Prabhupada, for the pleasure of Prabhupada. Right? And that's what today also he was making us realize that yes, it is a great responsibility on all of us to come together, serve together, and please Srila Prabhupada and all our acharyas. So thank you very much, Prabhuji. So wherever we are, we'll continue to remember these wonderful principles and continue to please His Holiness Jayaprakash Swami Maharaj and also Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much, and continue to please keep us in your prayers. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Devotees' greatness is felt more when we hear their sacrifices. Sacrifices not just for Krishna but for the devotees of Krishna. We have seen Bandhu Madhav Prabhuji spending his valuable time and more time whenever it is needed for the devotees, helping them, counseling them. I saw him many times spending times with his counselees for a lot. So when we hear this, we can understand these devotees are valuable. Now I will request His Grace Kartikeya Prabhu to speak few words.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So I'm very, very young, to Prabhuji. He's very, very senior. 2017 or 16, I came to ISKCON Whitefield, and from that time I have been observing Prabhuji and his wonderful qualities. Very, very consistent in whatever Prabhuji does. So be it sadhana, be it seva, be his mood, or be it anything for that matter. I heard from Harikshatra Prabhu that Prabhuji would take leave from the office and go to Mayapur just to do his sadhana of reading Srila Prabhupada's books. That was so inspiring to hear, so very inspiring to hear. And talking about the services, I remember this was one of the Janmastamis, 2016 or 2017, first Janmastami in ISKCON Whitefield for me. And I was in ISKCON Youth Forum stall and Prabhuji was in the book stall. And Prabhuji was holding that chart paper in the hand. And some details of Gita was there, that how much English Gita costs and what is the discount. And so I was going for taking prasad, I saw him and I went and then again came back, again saw him. After a few hours he's standing there with the same chart. Then I think I went to Harikshatra and asked, oh, this devotee is standing from a long time. And Prabhu said, this is what he's been doing from many years. And that was really, really very astonishing for me, because consistently doing the same service, and it is not some very elite service, holding a chart paper and standing. And he was doing that. Just by seeing that I was very inspired, and I told all the boys also there in the stall, this is how we have to be. This is how we have to be. If you want to understand a devotee's mood, when the devotee speaks, we understand what he prioritizes in his life. We understand his mood like that. And whatever classes we heard in 2016-17 by His Grace Bandhu Madhav Prabhu, recently he had given a Sunday feast class in AECS. I was there in my room doing some activity. I could hear the same lines, hammering the same lines. One has to give up sense gratification. One has to serve for the pleasure of Srila Prabhupada. On and on and on. I still remember our new brahmacharis who had joined, when they heard Prabhuji's class, they were saying, Prabhuji, this is a brahmachari class that Prabhuji is giving. How are grahasthas digesting? Very intense, very one-pointed, very fiery, very, very fiery. One thing which I have learned from my superiors is we have to be very, very grateful to all the devotees who are the root of a project. And I was not knowing this, that who was leading the entire project here in ISKCON Whitefield. And I got to know from Prabhuji that His Grace Bandhu Madhav was leading at that time. And he was taking care of all the congregation, trying to keep everyone together, doing something, in this place called Marathali. Today we have many centers, and today we are called as center managers, center heads or whatever. But then all credit goes to him, because he was the root, of this place. And from that root has come this entire congregation. And now it's growing and growing and growing. It's all by the mercy and the blessings and the encouragement given by His Grace Bandhu Madhav Prabhu. The only thing I would like to say at the end is we seek your blessing, Prabhuji, that we continue with the same consistency. Consistency is a problem for a sadhaka, but you have shown your consistency in your sadhana, seva, your mood, and various other aspects. Spending time with devotees, as Prabhuji were mentioning, playing with kids is also part of Prabhuji's spending time. The members of his Bhakti Vriksha, spending time with them and playing with them and always Harishapur had pointed, to me that this is how we have to spend time. This is how we have to spend. He probably would play around with kids.
Not for brahmacharis.
How is not for brahmacharis? But this is how we have to spend time. And I was really wondering that, okay, spending time with adults and counseling them is okay, but spending time with kids also to give them shelter. Because whenever they want, they can come and approach. That's a wonderful quality. That's a wonderful quality. So Prabhuji, seeking your blessings, so that we remain consistent in our sadhana, seva, in our mood. And we try our best to give up sense gratification. And we try our best, to do whatever possible for the pleasure of Srila Prabhupada and this entire mission. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. The strong tree, a strong, widely grown tree, you can understand it is standing on a strong roots. So yes, we can see now it's called Whitefield, it is growing and growing and growing. We have to understand how much effort would have been gone to strengthen it from its foundation when it was just budding. So we understand what is the contribution of Bandhu Madhav Prabhuji for this whole congregation. We will come to know there are some fruits of his efforts. They will come here and speak. But before we do that, I would request His Grace Achyutarjun Sakha Prabhuji to come and speak few words.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Hare. So, before I start sharing my memories with His Bandhu Madhav, I would like to remind myself of, I was very lucky that I could attend his class after a long time. So, I'd like to remind myself 3 takeaways from his class. Firstly, he reminded me that human life in this material world is like a house on fire. So Prabhupada explains that if somebody's house is on fire and if your neighbors are French and people who don't talk your language, still the urgency is so much that even without knowing the language you can communicate. So somehow I have to realize that my life is in a serious dearth of Krishna consciousness, and I have to accommodate with everybody else, even if I feel like not talking to them or don't understand the language which they are talking. I have to learn to live with them and serve with them. Another thing which he helped me understand was the road traffic example which he gave, that if you have only half an hour time and you have to go to Majestic, first I was thinking, Prabhuji, what, half an hour, how can someone reach Majestic? But the essence of that whole discussion was that if you have very less time and if your goal is fixed, then there will be no distractions in your life. You will always be Vyavasayatmika Buddhi, consciousness. And lastly, he reminded me that I am here in ISKCON not to become great or not to become a great devotee, but help everybody understand how Krishna is very great or how Srila Prabhupada is very great. So thank you very much, Prabhuji. Attending your classes and your association is always an education for me. So I've been also knowing you from around 2015, 16, that time. So whatever Harikshit Prabhu and generally whenever he glorifies, he used to tell us all these qualities of Prabhu when we used to stay in base. So we very fantasized, who is this devotee Bandhu Madhav? Takes leave for reading Srila Prabhupada's books and all the glorious qualities which he was mentioning. So the house which Prabhuji was discussing, 30,000 rent house, before it was demolished, in that house only I attended his first class, and then I came to know this is what it means to be a Krishna conscious person. Wonderful class, wonderful association. If I have to highlight, Subhanda Prabhu told I have just 5 minutes. So in 5 minutes, if I have to highlight only one quality which is at the top of my mind, it is maturity in dealing with devotees in Krishna consciousness. I've always seen Bandhu Madhav Prabhu as a very mature leader who is helping to inspire everyone and focusing on those details which are very easily missed.
I remember at one point of time, there was a couple who was new in Krishna consciousness, very enthusiastic, trying to do many services. But at the same time, they had some family problem also. They were not able to conceive a child. At the same time, they were taking up many services. So Bandhu Madhav Prabhu had highlighted that, at this point of time, they should focus on trying to, conceive a child or get a child. And then we should all encourage them, help them. They are going through a crisis. And then devotees, Dikshit Prabhu, when he saw that message, he highlighted to me, see, we are all trying to bombard this couple with so many services. But they have a personal problem which we are trying to forget. And maturity in Krishna consciousness means make the devotee happy first. If they are happy, if they are satisfied, if they are enthused, then they will automatically contribute. There is no need of separate inspiration. So that is what it means to be a family. So I was very much touched that day that here is a person who doesn't treat devotees as resources, but learns to value them as devotees. So I have always aspired to walk into his footsteps, still failing, not being able to understand how to come up to the consciousness level of, or at least try to follow in his footsteps. It's very difficult for me personally. One more, I don't know, some other devotee had glorified His Grace Bandhu Madhav Prabhu's household life also. He said that in the house of Bandhu Madhav Prabhu, as many rooms are there, those many speakers of playing Prabhupada lectures are there. In whichever room you go, you will see one shloka, which is to be memorized this week, and some Prabhupada lecture will be playing. You go in kitchen, Prabhupada lecture is playing. You go in your bedroom, Prabhupada lecture is playing. Drawing room, Prabhupada lecture is playing. Very much, this is how Shravanam should be. And that's how life should be. I mean, even in ashram, we are not able to do such things. So I was very much inspired by Prabhuji all the time. And personally, he has helped me a lot. At various occasions, people are highlighting how much he spends time with various devotees and paying attention to the details. So just like Mahaprabhu, he showed that it is so important to pay attention to the details. During the Rath Yatra, he used to organize kirtan parties all around the Jagannath Ratha. He used to decide who will play the mridanga. He used to decide who will be the central singer, central dancer. Love lies in the attention to the details. So Prabhuji, whatever interactions I've had with him, especially for my personal maybe circumstances or crisis, he's always got back to me paying a lot of attention to the details, especially the time when I had just joined ashram and due to some reason I think Parikshit Prabhu was not in town and Sridhar Gopal Prabhu was there, Yoga Kishore Prabhu was there, and so our Bandhu Madhav Prabhu was there. So especially Bandhu Madhav Prabhu was guiding, he was calling me and he was discussing with me, which hotel have you booked for your mother, where is the prasadam, how will the prasadam come, have you invited them, what time will you invite them, what activity will you do, where will you take them out. So full details, and I was feeling so sheltered, as Sridhar Gopal Prabhu told me. I was feeling sheltered. I was happy that there is a personality. If anything goes wrong, he will take care. So I'm very, very happy that he was there, sharing his Krishna consciousness with us. And I will miss you, Prabhu. Parikshit Prabhu was telling that you will be here in the weekdays. I hope that we'll meet you sometimes. Once I had personally messaged you regarding my struggles in Krishna consciousness, and I was asking you how to progress in Krishna consciousness. You replied by saying that verse, Shushusho Shraddhadhanasya Vasudeva Katharuchi Syan Mahat Sevaya Vipra Punya Tirthami Sevana. You said that simply by serving those souls who are purified at heart, great service is done. And then all the struggles in Krishna consciousness due to lack of nishtha and ruchi will be going away because you will develop Vasudeva Katharuchi. So I will remember that teaching of yours, that instruction of yours. Always I will look up to you. And whenever I get an opportunity, I'll try to associate with you, hoping and praying that someday I'll be able to relish Krishna consciousness like you. And you'll always be there in my heart. And thank you very much for your time and association. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. So it's a great, it takes a lot maturity to understand how great devotees are. If we are not able to find the glories and the qualities among the devotees, yes, we have to understand that yes, this is not, the devotee doesn't have these qualities, but it is my immaturity that I am not able to see the gem-like qualities in these devotees. Of course, we have when, but yeah, the other devotees who are there, like the seniors, they help us to make us understand the good qualities among the devotees. The great devotees are like, to whom we can run for the shelter. Yes, and Bandhu Madhav stood like that, to whom people can run for the shelter. Of course, we also experienced here. We ran to Bandhu Madhav regularly for the shelter when we were in the crisis. Thank you, Guruji. And now I will request Vikram Chaitanya Prabhu to speak few words.
Hare Krishna, Guruji. Namaskar. Known you since 2013. That's the time when we moved to Bangalore. And like Prabhuji was mentioning about the boat example. So we were in a boat which was kind of swaying in this material world of miseries, ocean of miseries. But we were really fortunate, that we came in touch with Prabhuji. So he steered our boat very nicely. Gave us very good practical advices. How to see things, even though situations were not very good looking, but he gave us hope. And like we all know that we have this wonderful family which is given to all of us by Srila Prabhupada. So but what does it mean? How do we experience that? And that we experience through the members of the family, the love and care that we get from them. And we experienced that through Bandhu Madhav Prabhuji. It was so amazing, the love and care that we received. And like we were hearing Prabhuji's mention that Prabhuji is, he's very humorous and serious, both at the same time. And he'll be playing so many pranks at the center temple. If you see some commotion going somewhere, the kids, Bandhu Madhav Prabhuji is there. All the kids, they used to look up. Kids used to ask whenever we'll go to the Sunday program, is Bandhu Madhav Prabhu coming? Yeah, then we'll go. So kids also used to look forward to that. We, of course, adults as well. So Prabhuji used to engage all of us, adults, kids, and everybody used to have good time in his association. So a lot of sevas we used to do. Prabhuji used to take us on wonderful yatras. When Mayapur yatra we went with Prabhuji, it was so relishing. An association of devotees, we really get wonderful learning. And like we also heard that, and Prabhuji was saying as well, that somehow we have to remain Krishna conscious. And we see that in Prabhuji's behavior. So Prabhuji, he walks the talk. Whatever he's saying, we see that through his own behavior. How he used to take leave to read Srila Prabhupada's books. That is so inspiring. We often say, and I keep saying, I don't have time. And in this material world, we have this saying that I'm too busy doing nothing. That's so good for me at least. But how to make use of time, we learn from Prabhuji. How he takes out time to give time to Srila Prabhupada's mission. So, always setting wonderful examples. So, Prabhuji, we pray to you that please, keep us in your prayers, bless us, that we can try to, follow the examples that you said in your footsteps. Be serious in our sadhana, especially in this time when the soldiers of Srila Prabhupada, they are leaving. So, we need to be really serious to take this movement forward. So, Prabhuji, please keep us in your prayers. And we pray to Gandharika Giridhari, Shriman Mahaprabhu, Lakshmi Narasimhadev, Panchatattva, Guru Parampara, Srila Prabhupada, to shower their choices, blessings upon Prabhuji and the family for their good health. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. I remember when long back I got the service of scheduling Bhagavatam class in our temple, and I used to invite different speakers. I used to call, Bandhu Madhav Prabhuji, when will you come for our temple for Bhagavatam class? Prabhuji used to say, give me the date, after 3 months. I said, why Prabhuji so long? I said, no, I'm too busy and doing this. I asked Harishatru, what is this matter? Prabhuji is giving time for after long time. And Prabhuji is very focused. Why is focused? Where is he focused? He's focused in cultivating devotees personally. Now he has focused his whole attention, and that time actually, that particular period of our time, when he focused his whole attention in cultivating this his Bhakti Viksha and the members in his in a counseling, and he gave 100%, not 100%, maybe 110, 120% for them, and bringing, even giving, bringing them up and making them able leaders. So one of those, I said, is Bandhu Madhav's root and the fruits are those great leaders that we are seeing in our congregation. One of them was, of course, Vikram Chaitanya Prabhu, and few more devotees are there. I will call them one by one. Shrikant Srinivas Prabhuji, will you please come?
Hare Krishna. So, thank you for giving this opportunity. How do I know Bandhu Madhav Prabhu? So, 2006, so basically my wife was actually attending Bandhu Madhav Prabhu's classes in the afternoon at ITPL, and his brother, Prabhu's brother also, Lakshmi Narasimha Prabhu. And then my wife was saying, so, and then we were called for Bhakti Viksha at their house. And so we associated with, that is the first, time. And so we used to travel the Bhakti Vikshas, when Prabhu was staying at HSR level. And then we got an opportunity, we was more associated at that point in time, 5-6 months, and Lakshmi Narasimha Prabhu, his brother, was staying next to our house. And then when Prabhu was leaving, and then Prabhu mentioned, you take care of this family. I didn't know my wife was saying. So then Prabhu took, he has taken care of us like baby spoon feeding the spiritual knowledge. And so since then, so it was like, so I slowly observing him. My wife was completely, she was daily basis, she was attending classes, but I'm the outsider kind of, I was observing. And then, so the Vaishnava qualities, right? So Prabhu was mentioning, Sudhir Gopal Prabhu was mentioning. So I saw Prabhu was actually leading the Janmashtami functions around 2010-12 at that point in time, single-handedly. And so that's where I have learned, so sincerity of a devotee. And then, so basically, and maturity and tolerance, right? So when we were actually associating with him, with our BV members, so he always is so nice to the devotees. Whatever the problem they come up with, but he will always used to give the room and understand them, understand their problem, why they are not able to practice, why they are not able to. So, and then that is how we'll learn maturity and tolerance. Prabhu was actually showing. And then nice thing is like early yatras, devotee care. So how we should actually take care of the devotees during the yatra, I have learned. So all these actually culminated that okay, there's a devotee who is actually, showing, exhibiting these qualities. Why should actually we learn and then follow? That's how actually I was attracted looking at Prabhu's Vaishnava qualities. And then, so he actually moved to Martali, when he actually taking care of the Martali uh, circle, and then we are as a Nityananda circle, we used to come to SNGM, and then Prabhu has this, every week we have service. So as Sudhir Prabhu was mentioning also, every week we have a service, and then that is how we learn, right, the service attitude. And only service attitude will actually connect to the Lord. That's how we'll, I specifically, learn. And then he was actually slowly got the taste in the philosophy. See, the other way around. So through a devotee qualities, I followed, and then I was actually able to understand the philosophy, and then understand who Guru is and how Guru can help us as a Siksha Guru, a Diksha Guru. So he has actually taken care of us so nicely, so that we can actually take up this Krishna consciousness. That's where it actually stuck in my heart. So, and then Prabhu actually helped us to actually get the Harinam Diksha, and that is also, we have 5 families with Prabhu, same. So we used to actually learn each other, and then we could able to actually, with Prabhu's help, so how we were trained, how we should be a real Vaishnava. And then during 8 rounds of my chanting, Prabhu said, why don't you actually preach? So that point in time, no, there's no Bhakti Ruksha, I could say. And then in ACS layout, and he said, so why don't you actually start preaching? And why don't you just start the Bhakti Ruksha? And then I said, I don't have quality. I mean, even 8 rounds, I'm chanting, so it doesn't matter, just take it up. So Prabhu used to come every week, and then and then help us, guide us how to actually conduct the Bhakti Ruksha. And then that's how, and then when we were actually taking Harinam Diksha, so within, I mean, you should be able to, guide at least 5-6 devotees within next 2 years. So that kind of support Prabhu was giving. And then so he was actually helping us to keep on adding members. And then I don't know how we actually could able to serve his instruction, but somehow my parents also added into it. And then they were also overwhelmed with Prabhu's, even though he doesn't know Telugu, but he actually learn and come and then speak to them in Telugu. And then and then he used to actually even translate it. And then my father was like a real fan of him so that's how so he could, it's not, Prabhu was saying, not only kids, the elders, if you actually, so that's how attracted purely Vaishnava qualities. And then Prabhuji, I have learned whatever I'm actually trying to distribute, and to the maximum extent to the members which you actually, the path you have shown, the way you have actually helped us, the same way we are helping. And then so you always say that's how it should be. That's how we should actually help each other, and then be in the family of Srila Prabhupada he created, and then push this moment to the next level. So definitely, Prabhu, we will be in touch with you, and then so we will always remember whatever the instructions you have given to us, and the same will actually pass on to the next generation, what the BBs, what we are actually trying to help, and then they will also achieve what we have achieved. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Thank you, Guruji. So legacy continues. See, Bandhu Madhav has done such a kind of a great work and selfless task. When we do preaching and when we start cultivating people, we say that, yeah, this is my boy, and we keep them with us. But Prabhuji didn't did that at all. He cared for devotees. He cultivated devotees. He brought them to the leadership level, and he just dedicated all these devotees in the service of Prabhupada. Not kind of keeping them close to his shoulder, close to him. Of course, devotees are very close, but he didn't bound them with him. Now we can see Shrikant Srinivas Prabhu. He started serving in ACS layout, and he's a sector leader there. He has so many Krishna Karamarti Prabhu. Now he's in Ajagulana leader. He could not come here, but yes, cultivated by him. We have Karnapati Keshav Prabhu. We have Mohan Rupa Masudan Prabhu. Legacy continues. These devotees are really learning from Bandhu and exactly replicating the same principle: care, cultivate, and dedicate. So I will request now His Grace Karnapati Keshav Prabhu to speak few words. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. First of all, thank you for this opportunity. How I come to know His Grace Bandhu Madhav was during the ITPL days. I wanted to learn Bhagavad Gita, so I was speaking to one of my colleagues actually. I want to learn Bhagavad Gita, what should I do? So he said there is a group there in ITPL in parking lot around 1:15 to 1:30 every single weekday. We actually discuss and you can join us. I was very curious. ITPL, IT place, and what is happening here is spiritually. So I was really kind of very curious. So
Which year?
here in 2004 or
2004.
2004, 2006 probably? Not 25. 6, okay, 2006 after 2005, come on. So me, my Vaikuntha Vishnu Priya Mataji and many other cultivated during this time.
You speak a little loud too.
Okay. So me and the Vaikuntha Vishnu Priya Mataji, we were actually taking support of Prabhuji. Yeah. So I started actually attending the classes of Prabhuji, and me coming from Shaivite family, Lord Shiva and Kamakshi Devi, and it was very difficult for me to take up Krishna is supreme personality of God. How can I accept this? All through my days, I learned Shiva, Kamakshi. How can I even? It was like a kind of loyalty question for me. Like how can I change myself? So it's like very difficult because I could see the philosophy is there, everything is there, but how can I take this? So I used to really be a very troubling audience for Bandhu Madhav in initial days, which was so many questions to Prabhuji. How come this can happen? How can this? So many questions. But Prabhuji was very, very, very patient. Very patient. And one thing about Prabhuji is, he makes you very curious to come to next day to get the answer for today's question. Okay. So that way I'll be asking some 4 or 5 questions. Then fifth question, I think it's time now. Can we have this question being discussed tomorrow? Like that. Then I have no choice. I have to come the next day. So it continued like this again and again. So so it was really, I would say that I was cultivated by Prabhuji, and seriously, I cannot say that I can't even think about giving farewell because I am actually working in Prabhu's office. And I have opportunity to report to Prabhuji on every single day. I am also having opportunity in the name of reporting to Prabhuji materially, but spiritually I also report. So that opportunity is there. But anyway, because of service I am doing this. So before coming to Krishna consciousness, I was just somebody who actually, sitting in one place, everything being served by mother, after my marriage, everything my wife, service doesn't exist in my dictionary. Absolutely. I don't know what is service mean. Like brooming or mopping, cleaning, nothing. So when I came to temple, I was seeing Prabhuji was wearing the dhoti, and then he was like all the way, was ready to do all service. I was so wondering, okay, Prabhu can give classes, but Prabhu can also do service. Then what I can do? Then I also started learning. Because I never knew in my life how to mop or clean or, create clean results, nothing. So by Prabhuji's example, I've been actually kind of pulled into, learning how to do service in Krishna consciousness. So I really thank Prabhuji for, being an example and cultivating me. And one of the Janmashtami, I'm not sure about the year, I'm very bad in numbers, Prabhuji. So I was taking care of finance department, and I was very nervous in terms of handling cash, because before you have the digital cash and phone pay, GPay and all these things, those times the cash was the donation collection, and one day I was having around 75 to 85,000 rupees, and I was feeling nervous. This is Krishna's money. If I lost, what will happen? I was calling Prabhuji, please help me. I have a problem in handling this cash. I don't want to lose it. Prabhu said, don't worry, I'll come there. I'll come there and talk to you like that. And afterwards he convinced me to ensure that I will not, be in any kind of nervousness in handling this cash, and making sure that I continue the service and able to take it up. And on that day onwards, every single year, I was able to take up this financial thing for Nityananda Circle, even before the Whitefield Center actually started for temple. So I really want to thank Prabhuji for that. And Prabhuji actually talked in his class about tolerant, patient, merciful, accommodative. I would say, personally, he was completely manifesting these qualities in making sure that not only me, even my family, we are here right now today because of Prabhuji's and Mataji's mercy in our family actually. So I really want to thank you for that. And one thing I am just remembering is, during my days, I actually came to Krishna's as a lonely person of a family. Whenever I come to temple for doing service, Prabhuji and Mataji used to drive me, go, don't come here with your wife, go, like that. So I don't have opportunity to do Krishna separately. Okay, he always actually recommended to make sure that my family comes. Today my wife is here because Prabhuji and Mataji was nicely guiding actually. So I really want to thank you for that, Prabhuji. So I think Srikanth Srinivas Prabhu also actually talked about that, Bhakti Vishak training. So I used to be there every single week, be an audience, look at us and see how we are speaking. End of the session actually used to give guidance, like how we are, make sure that we are delivering it properly without any contamination or changing our words. And he used to also give motivation how to take it. So it was very, actually was always there with us, putting us together and then helping us, motivating us. Otherwise, it was very difficult actually. So most of you will be actually looking at Prabhuji in devotional circle, but I had the opportunity last 2 years to actually notice Prabhuji in the material circle, at least in the office environment. Today you can see one of the ex-colleagues, Vinay, is here to attend this ceremony actually. So that clearly says Prabhuji is not only loved in devotional circle, but actually also loved in this office environment. Because I never ever seen Prabhuji angry or upset in any situation, not only in devotional environment, but also office environment. It was so inspiring. How can a person can be like this? So even today it was surprising and shocking for me, but it always keeps inspiring me. So thank you, Prabhuji, for being in my life, and I really thank you for tolerating us, being patient and ensuring that we are able to follow Krishna consciousness. Whenever you go to Coimbatore or Kudalur or Kundatur or even Goloka, we will be definitely ensure that we follow you by your instructions and try to satisfy you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I told you that there are a few devotees which are cultivated by Bandhu Madhav Prabhuji, but I didn't tell you where. It happened in Mohanrao Prabhuji's house, Mohanrao Madhusudan Prabhuji's house. Whenever I go to Mohanrao Prabhuji's house and ask, how you are cultivated? This is the place where all these devotees used to come together from all the corners of Bangalore, and he used to conduct Bhakti Vriksha there. I got a goosebump, my God, this is the place. I request Mohanrao Prabhuji to bring back those memories again. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you for giving opportunity. I will just take some time and try to put some of the qualities which I observed. from His Grace Bandhu Madhav Prabhu. So initially we started our Krishna conscious in 2013. I would think that was the seed that was laid for this particular area. It was the first time in HL where we did Krishna Janmashtami. And luckily I was very near to that Kalyana Mandapa, and we just visited at the last moment. So then we got connected to Krishna conscious. We went to Bhakti Riksha. We had my Bhakti Riksha leader was His Grace Rasa Sindhu Prabhu. So at that particular time, like Bandhu Madhav Prabhu was a circle servant leader. So it was Nityananda circle in the temple. So he was a circle servant leader, and there was a sector leader, and there was Bhakti Riksha leader. So whenever my Bhakti Riksha leader was not there, or whenever my sector leader was not there, so once he came actually to give a lecture, and we heard him. That was the first time when I heard him, and somehow in my mind I developed a small desire that how nice it would be if we could frequently hear him. I don't know if it was by chance or what. So that desire actually developed, and then whenever we used to go to temple, like whatever services we used to do, like we used to see him, like even we used to do now we don't do that service. We would have not seen also. We were actually washing the vessels during these things, and that was actually very, very tough service. We have to go down and then wash the vessels. Like Prabhuji will be there till the end until we fully wash that area and make it clean. And I was very surprised, like how Prabhu being in such a prominent position also till last moment he was there. And it is the bondage. One thing I found, like, see, as far as ISKCON is concerned, when I started, like Krishna, Prabhupada, like these were all there, but it was actually the devotee's first impression which creates more of interest towards you on other things, because they are the first sight. You don't know about Krishna. Of course, like when I was initial, like I used to hear more from Bhakti Riksha later. Every time he would say Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Why is this ISKCON people saying so much about Krishna? But when I saw devotee, that actually attracted me, and then I wanted to continue because of the relationship they have. That relationship and that bondage that Prabhu was creating. Like I was working with my Bhakti Riksha leader, and he was doing for Janmashtami, and we were initially doing this kitchen services, and we were actually trying to get some vessels and some these things, rice and these things. And the dedication I saw in my Bhakti Riksha leader, like he was worried, how can I actually ensure that my leader is actually happy, and then I don't put so much burden onto him, like raising the funds. He was going here and there, trying to use his personal funds. He was taking us also. So much of bondage was there. Like even in material world, we will not see so much of bondage. So that inspired me during that first impression. And as the time progressed, there was a time when my Bhakti Riksha leader had to leave. There was a time when my sector leader has to leave. And then like there were nobody. We were few devotees. And it was surprised to see actually Bandhu Madhav Prabhu was a circle servant leader. He came up to the level of Bhakti Riksha leader, like what Sugandhu Prabhu was mentioning. He came up to the level of Bhakti Riksha leader, and he was conducting the class. And we were lucky that we had an opportunity to have Bhakti Riksha in our house, and it was like our house was filled with lot of devotees. It was like really blissful moments during those days. I cannot even share so much blissful just by having the devotees there and hearing from Prabhu the classes. More than classes, like Prabhu, the kind of relationship he not only built the relationship with us, but he built up a relationship among our family members. So whatever services he used to give, like we never felt that it was a services, and we were so much involved that we didn't know how much time we were spending. Because Prabhu also is always with us, and then when we were spending time with him, we did not even know what time we are spending. We had lot of struggle in our material lives. But still, when Prabhu comes in, he gives that light heart and that happiness, that blissfulness, that actually made us actually keep going, continue in Krishna conscious. And slowly as we mature, we understand what is Krishna conscious through the association of devotees. That's what I felt. That relationship and bondage, what Prabhu created, is everlasting, and that is what is actually making me to continue here also till now. And the second point which I especially get inspired from Prabhuji is his tolerant. Patience is another thing, but tolerance is a very important word. So I was like Prabhu said, like I was also a very, very notorious person. Like I never know what to be done, what to be not done, how to be done. So sometimes, like in our disciplic section, there are things to be done in a proper manner. But when we are initial, you don't know how to do it. You are so inspired or so much enthusiastic that you start doing so many things, and then you end up doing some mistakes. So as a leader, it is very, very important that you actually make them aware, at the same time be tolerant also. That particular quality I liked very much about Bandhu Madhav Prabhu, where not only like he was tolerant when I was doing mistakes, but made me understood in a very, very appropriate manner that I was actually creating a mistakes, and that was his classes. So whenever I used to make mistakes, and then immediately after some time, like when Prabhu gives some lecture, so there is lot of instructions in that class that actually it is actually meant for me to take that instructions and actually to correct myself. So that actually only when we hear keenly, and only when we are interested, we will actually try to know that this is actually, I should actually correct this particular thing. So that is actually really tolerant. Very generally as a leader, when we see that things are not going immediately, we actually react. But Prabhu doesn't react. He waits, no matter how much I know I have done so much of faults in my engaging in services, but Prabhu was like very patiently, very tolerantly, more than patience is tolerance, very tolerantly saw me through, and then also made me realize that this is not the way to do, but this is the way to do. So that is a very, very important quality which I try to see from His Grace Bandhu Madhav Prabhu, and then trying to cultivate also. Definitely we will not be able to do as he does. So Prabhu, as far as I am concerned, you are always our inspiration. You will continue to be our inspiration. So wherever you are, we will always remember you. We will always remember your qualities. We will always remember your service. The word service we actually saw. It's not heard from you, but we actually saw from you how to do the services, how to engage in the services. Prabhu will go in a minute details also, like even for the temple. So for example, in the stage building, like we had done a stage. It was first time when we did a huge investment for a stage, and I was actually coordinating that services. I saw that stage was very nicely getting decorated. But when Prabhu came and actually was seeing the details, he was saying that this particular pillar is actually shifted by around 20-25 mm, like it's not exactly in the center. So I was very astonished that how can Prabhu actually, in so much of busy, how is Prabhu is so accurately seeing that this particular detail that it's not centering, which we are not noticing all the way here. So much minute detail Prabhu just goes in that we cannot believe. And he's not in one particular service, he's in so much of services, like 9, 11, 12, he's there. He may not know how to do it, but he's there with the devotee, and then he inspires him to do that. So that is really inspiring. That bondage, like I really feel like we were blessed by Krishna and Prabhupada that we got your association from day one, and continuing your association, and will continue this association. Thank you for your patience here in Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So we have, of course, we also have seen Prabhuji practically helping us. You know, like Janmashtami, remember somebody, we had a grand Janmashtami here in Kagadaspura, and at 12 o'clock, midnight, 1 o'clock, all the festival was over, everything was wound up, all the devotees had gone their homes, volunteers had gone home, and finally there's a time for the sending back the vessels to Kanamangala, and they are not washed. A huge amount of vessels. So what to do? And no volunteers, even laborers were not there. Laborers were sleeping around somewhere in the corner. What to do? I told Bandhu, what to do now? Immediately took the dhoti. Chalo, let's go. And you know, the person, you know, at the level of vice president in the company is coming and ready to do service. You know, within a moment, ready to do service. Now he'll be there for till completing the seva. I experienced this. He was there with us. I tell Prabhuji, we do it, Prabhuji, we'll do it, Prabhuji, we just go, we plan something. No, we'll do it. We finished that vessel cleaning services completely. He was there with us till end. By the time last person dropped, he was there with them. And the way he cultivated the devotees, Mohandra was telling that the vibrations are still there whenever I go to Prabhuji's house. Of course, whenever you all go to Mohandra Prabhuji's house, you will see that you will feel those vibrations with those that day when they had Bhakti Rukshas and all the cultivations happening. So of course, all these good memories. Thank you, Mohandra, for bringing it. I would request now one of the devotees who was cultivated by Bandhu Madhav Prabhu, Vaikuntha Vishnu Priya Mataji, to come and speak few words.
Thank you, Prabhu, for giving this opportunity. My association with Bandhu Madhav Prabhu is very long back from ITPL days. It's from 2005 and it continued till 2016. Still I was there in ITPL. 2011, Bandhu Madhav Prabhu was there and still we had the classes going on till 2016. That was actually started with a 15 minutes class. We used to assemble after our lunch from 1:15 to 1:30. Should be going around 1:40 sometimes, yeah. But never knew that the small association of 15 minutes daily would bring us so long. And whatever we discussed, and I was newly married by then. Me and my husband were there. One good opportunity is that whatever I used to listen in lunch hour, I used to come and discuss with my husband. And he also used to listen. And that's how, not in physical, but then through hearing, he connected with Bandhu Madhav Prabhu and his brother. And that was the time, for the first time we heard, that's the first time where we heard the Bhakti Vriksha concept, where Prabhu used to call on Sundays, we have this chanting session happening in the morning or evening in the Bhakti Vriksha. So me and my husband, every week they used to call. And we were in the Whitefield and Prabhu was in with their family in HSR layout. So that was the initial days. So we used to feel why these people used to call us every day, every week. So somehow, because they called, we have to go now, we are obliged to go. So that's how our Bhakti Vriksha or our connection with Prabhu started and it deepened. So we initially, learned how when we are connecting with our Bhakti Vriksha members, or when we are connecting with the devotees, how the love and care should be given, that we personally learned from Prabhu. Prabhu is, first thing is, first quality which comes is the devotee care. He more emphasizes. After in a congregation, being a grihastha, he showed us how when a devotee comes to us, how we should treat them, how much we have to take care of them. It's practically like Mohan Rup Madhusudan Prabhu said that we can't see that bondage even in our own families. But then this happens only in the devotee community, and that too like a devotees like Bandhu Madhav Prabhu. And he practically we used to see that how much time we all get only weekend, Saturday and Sunday. So we have a lot of things to do. We postpone every work on Saturdays and Sundays. But seeing this, Bandhu Madhav Prabhu used to take so much time for the devotees, and he used to give so much time. Like when he comes to morning, Sunday program, till 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock he used to be there. Every service he used to take care. And when we had a Nityananda circle, we had all these services rotating. Each group had one service coming every week. So he practically showed how to do the service, and how he always used to show an example that when you do service, how your anarthas would go. He used to say that, and he used to practically show how to do the service. How when you are doing somebody is watching me or not. If I am cleaning the temple, is somebody watching, noticing it? Should I do? If nobody is noticing, I'll drop the mop there and go. That's the attitude we used to have initially. But then when we saw the Bandhu Madhav Prabhu, one day I was singing in Lakshmi Narasimha temple, Girdhari Mandiri temple. Nobody is there. Prabhu was morning Mangalarti, after Mangalarti, 7 o'clock. Arati was to be ready, and nobody was there. Prabhu was taking alone, he was doing entire temple mob cleaning. We were the new at that time, and then I felt Prabhu is doing that and we are just standing it. Shame on us. So I felt like, and then, took the mob and we cleaned it out. But like Prabhu was mentioning that also he walks the talk he speaks. I mean, whatever he speaks, he walks on that. Many qualities I have learned from him, and especially like many of all of the Prabhus were saying that Janmashtami. Janmashtami is the time where Prabhu comes first and he leaves the last. He ensures that everything is done. Everything is done perfectly, cleanly, neatly. And this is how you have to do the service. That's what he practically showed us. The main things today, all the 5 families, what he cultivated are bonded together, stayed together. It's because the devotee care he has given. How a relationship between the families should be happening, among the families, between the devotees, how the relation should be cultivated. That's been practically he taught us. And not only with the family members, he extended his love to the kids and to the elders in the family also. When we go to Yatra, I say that, Prabhu, can I bring my mother and father, my sister's family? He said, bring. And everyone used to come. When they come, he used to speak to them and take care of them also nicely. Even now, even though they are not connected to Krishna consciousness, but whenever I go, they definitely ask, how is Bandhu Madhav Prabhu and their family, how he is doing? That's the bond. That's how he shows that we have to cultivate a relationship. And Yatras also, when we go to Yatra, when he initially took us for the very first time for the Mayapur Yatra, Puri Yatra, he used to personally take care of us very nicely. Like, he used to call, is everything comfortable, Mataji? Is everything okay? You are getting hot water, you are getting proper food, all these things, these minute details. This is like, this how actually shows the bond. Prabhu used to say, philosophy is next, Krishna is next, because everybody comes to the Krishna consciousness but first seeing the devotees, your attitude, your behavior, how you are behaving. Seeing that attracts the other devotees. And that actually helped us, to cultivate a Vaishnava qualities also in us. Prabhu used to take care such a way that actually bonded us and attracted us to come to Krishna consciousness in the very initial days. That helped us. Some of the few qualities which always he emphasized, or what I learned from his classes and his association, is Prabhu always says, do bhakti when there is time. When you are young, when you are energetic, when you are able to sit, do it, take a japa, do, read, listen. Do your sadhana when you are young, when time permits, when situations are favoring. Do as much bhakti as, grab the bhakti as much as you can. Once you are not able to do anything, that would actually help. This is the first thing which I learned from him. And Prabhu showed us like how to listen more and more. Shravanam should be, emphasis more on Shravanam, more on reading Prabhupada books, more on hearing. So I said like, Prabhu, this is my situation. I am so totally occupied. I'm working. I have to take care. Those so many things are there. Prabhu said, why don't you buy a speaker, put it in your home, let the lecture play all around. So this is continuous even till today, even in our home. Every single morning, we'll on the Prabhupada lecture or a devotee's lecture, Mayapur lectures, and it goes on and on. Till the time I'm in kitchen and cooking, this goes on. That's how my Shravanam happens. Prabhu says, when you are driving, why can't you hear? Why can't you? And reading also. Reading is something which Prabhu I could not take even till today. Prabhu used to emphasize more on. He used to give commitments, like, take this year what commitment you want to do for reading. So we used to commit, but then still we failed. We could. It's happening, but one thing which we promised Prabhu, that I'll speak more on the reading whole part also. And Prabhu says one more important point to us is like, you grow when you preach. Your growth happens in Krishna consciousness. You will progress much faster when you do preaching. Whatever you are doing, whatever you have learned, not preaching means just giving classes also. Preaching is physically implementing, physically showing in your lifestyle also. Not only that, whatever little you learned, speak to the one near and dear, or whomever you are close, whatever you have read, whatever you have lived. That is how the preaching happens. Everybody would grow in Krishna consciousness the more you do preaching. That point Prabhu always emphasizes. Third point, he always says that you also grow when you take responsibilities. If you are in your comfortable zone, you cannot grow. Prabhu emphasizes more that the more you take responsibility, the more you will grow. One time I remember this one. First time when we go yatra, Prabhu takes very care. I mean, everyone, if you see this one also, everyone takes care of us very nicely. Second time also yatra, if you go, you should not expect the same royal treatment. Second time also when we go, second and third time, we should take the responsibility. We should take the responsibilities of our leader and help the new members to come attract to this. It's not that one person who is taking the responsibility and we are sitting nicely enjoying in a comfortable zone. That is not. I mean, that's we have to grow. If we are trying to be little serious in Krishna consciousness, and if we want to serve our leaders, our Siksha Gurus, our Prabhupada, our Krishna, this is how we have to take the responsibilities. First time you grow, first time you go to yatra or come to centers, take a royal treatment. But next time onwards, we should take the responsibility and do the service. And that's what my Siksha Guru, my Bandhu Madhav Prabhu had taught me. And I also say that whenever I say that, Prabhu, I don't have this quality. When I used to initially say that, Prabhu, I can't preach. I don't have this capacity of public speaking. And then Prabhu says that you take it out. When you do it, you get it. Krishna consciousness, Krishna provides more. Prabhupada blesses out that whatever you are lacking, that he will provide. First you start it out, it will come automatically. So today I am just speaking, just giving this because of the inspiration of Bandhu Madhav Prabhu, who gave me that you start doing it, you will get it out. So take the responsibility, take preaching seriously and do those things. Very important quality what I learned from is the devotee care. The time he spent is amazing. The time he spent, especially with 5 families who are very dear to him, he took, every weekend we used to take much of his time. And every Bhakti Vriksha, how Bhakti Vriksha should be leaded, how a Gruhastha congregation should be taken care is learned from Bandhu Madhav Prabhu. Every weekend he used to visit every Bhakti Vriksha. He used to patiently see us, and he used to give classes, answer our questions, help the devotees, everything he used to do. So thank you, Bandhu Madhav Prabhu. Thanks for your association of being nearly 20 years with me. I've learned so much. I wish and pray and ask you, beg for forgiveness, whatever we have done. Please keep us in your prayers and blessings, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Madhav. So Bhakti leaders, they don't have their family. They have families which are extended. They don't have just their own kids. All members are there, are like their kids. So this is what we learn from Bandhu Madhav Prabhuji. One more kid of Bandhu Madhav Prabhuji. I request Abhayanand Prabhuji to come and speak few words. Chaitanya.
Hare Krishna. For me, I associated with Bandhu Madhav Prabhu. First time I met him during the car seva when we done in temple in 2010. One day we all devotee went to the temple. So we were doing car seva. So one incident happened that one nail went inside his leg. After putting the this cloth over there, then also he was start working. Then Radha Krishna Prabhu came and he said, no, you sit, why you are doing the things? Blood is coming. Then also he was not stopping himself. So that kind of a quality I saw when I met first time with Bandhu Madhav Prabhu. And then my journey started with him when I was
doing Janmashtami or the Nityan circle seva when we do in the temple. It was a regular practice. We used to go in the temple, do the seva. He arranged everything before we went over there. When we go and see, milk is not there. No, I have arranged the milk from some vendor. Don't worry, we'll go by car and get it. So arrangements, whatever is there, he make sure that nothing should be left out, that whatever is required, and it is not there. Everything is perfectly there. Only we have to execute, and he himself will be there with us to arrange everything and help us for completing the task and all. How Mataji has explained that he took the mob himself, do the work and complete the things, even though we are there or we are not there, like that. Then my association comes with him when we were doing the Janmashtami of 2011. And 2011 we got one sponsor, and that sponsor was giving that, okay, you come and do the print designing work also in my premises only. So you won't believe, he won't go to office, he will go to his place, do the designing work and then come back. And I am in the office, Babuji, I can't go. No, don't worry, I am going there, we will do the designing and come back. So evening time you can see this kind of meditation happens many times. Then also, it's nothing like that he is a circle leader or something, nothing like that. He used to go complete the work and all, that kind of things. It's very difficult to get it like this association or the quality what Prabhuji is having. That he never think about it that what I am doing. I have to complete the task, that is his ask, that's all. Then many things happen. He thinks for Janmashtami like out of the box kind of thing, always thinking. And he never disclose the thing before Janmashtami comes. Sometimes like this time he will have a Prabhupada big picture of how 20 by 10 a layout kind of thing behind the stage. It was never told and it came just all of a sudden, okay, he want that kind of a thing. And I spent a night also with him when we were doing the Janmashtami designing part and all at his house also. I was saying that, okay, Prabhuji, I just came from office, it's 9:30 and your time is also for sleeping. No, come, we'll do it. So 3 devotees were there. We 3 works till 5 a.m. in the morning. Like that it happens. So I can't imagine that I am saying no, but Prabhuji is having that energy and he is saying, no, come, we will do it. So, see, if you have that kind of a leader who is doing the enthusiasm to you that, okay, come, we will do it, definitely you also have an encourage to do it and complete the task. And it's not that he is sitting as idly kind of thing. We have 3 laptops and 3 people are working. He himself also working something or the other. Prabhupada picture, he is designing how to get out of things and all. Likewise, many things are going like this. And the patient level what Prabhuji is having is amazing. He never have a shout from his mouth. I never saw him. He always be a smiling face, he listen you and then he come back, okay, we'll do it in this way. The ideas will come from him. That kind of things I have seen many times. Where we were doing many points are there during Janmashtami because I spent 2 years regularly with him and it was amazing. He just give the task, do it, and if the task is not done, no, do it in this way. Even though I was never been, printing is not done, okay, you do the printing, come back. So I need not to ask him that, okay, he is giving that kind of thing, go and do it. Don't come and ask me to do whether how you will do it or how much expenditure is going on. Complete the task and come back with the solution. That kind of thing was there. And we also work in that way. So it was amazing with him. So these are my time what I spent 2-3 years, detailed kind of, or I would say more association with him during the Janmashtami period, and then the seva what we were doing in temple. Then we are meeting always in some programs and all. Prabhuji is always come and encourage us for doing many things. So Bandhu Madhav Prabhu, I just request Bandhu Madhav Prabhu to forgive me if I done any mistake, because when you do nearby some seva with somebody, with seniors especially, might be unknowingly or knowingly you do some kind of a mistake or some kind of forgiveness. So please forgive me for that. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. it's very tough when somebody is glorifying you and simply listen. And finally, after completing all this glorification, glorifications are not finishing, but somewhere we have to give a pause. I know many of you will be boiling to say, "Arey Prabhuji, I want to speak something," but we have to give a pause to it now. And at the end, I will request Bandhu Madhav Prabhu to speak a few words in response.
Hare Krishna. It's a little problem to associate with devotees. Even with Krishna, like in Bhagavatam says that in the Sudama's pastime, what he gave was very little, but what Krishna took is very big. So in the same way, like many devotees spoke many things. I actually would have done only a small thing in that, but they expanded it, in fact. So it was a little tough to remain patient listening there, because many things were not something what I really did. So it doesn't. I cannot take the credit for it at all, for sure. So even if some credit is there, it definitely does not belong to me, because like even Harikshetra Prabhu was talking about, we have to think something big. So that's not something that comes from me. It actually came from Prabhupada. Prabhupada wanted anything that we do, he wanted us to do something big, not something small. So the credit actually goes to the acharyas, the credit actually goes to the leaders. In fact, most of these credits has to go to Varakrishna Prabhu, because Varakrishna Prabhu is such a leader whom I saw. It's like he doesn't keep leadership with him. He always actually gives leadership, and he encourages everybody to take responsibility, which I see even in Harikshetra Prabhu also. He actually gives a lot of encouragement to take leadership qualities, or take leaderships, in fact. So many of these things what devotees saw in me is not really coming from me. It is actually coming from other devotees, other great senior devotees from whom I actually learnt. So I cannot take the credit for all of these. Definitely, I have to definitely pass it on. So I really wanted to say thank you to all the devotees here for giving me opportunity to serve. I am very sure I have not done my service to my best capacity. I'm really saying it. It is like many devotees even said something, I gave time, but in fact I wanted to give more time, but I couldn't give time. So the takeaway for me is like I have to improve whatever I have been doing. It is definitely not enough. What I need to give back to Srila Prabhupada's movement is definitely not sufficient. I need to actually give more. So I only can thank all of you for allowing me to do some service, allowing me to actually be a small instrument in some of your spiritual life. It was because of you all I could actually remember Krishna. Because of you all I could be little Krishna conscious. So more than what I gave you, you gave me a lot, in fact. So I am very thankful to all of you, in fact, for giving me the opportunity to serve you all, serve my spiritual master, serve Srila Prabhupada. It was actually memorable for me, in fact, to be here and do service. Like many devotees actually saying that I was in the front and then leading all the service and all those things. It was a struggle. Like I know many devotees now, even in Kakada Sapura, you have been given some service. Like I know Bhakti Viksha leaders here. It's not so easy. Like your members don't show up and then you will have to take up the responsibility and do that. I was in the same boat. It was not nothing new. What you all are going through, I actually had gone through in the past. Like it's a struggle. It's basically a struggle, but that struggle is purifying us for sure. It actually it gives us a lot of relishment, a taste in actually practicing Krishna consciousness. So it had been a very lot of challenging struggle serving here in under great leaderships, great visionaries in this Bangalore Yatra. I have a lot of devotees whom I need to really thank, the leaders. They actually set a lot of great examples for the whole Yatra. Bangalore is obviously something special, like where no other place in this globe actually had. We had a big hill temple problem. So that no other city, no other place in the whole world actually had. We had a different problem altogether. Devotees had different experiences, and the whole history of Bangalore's Krishna consciousness ISKCON here is actually quite different. It was a lot of learning for all the devotees, and many leaders went through that, and they passed a lot of great learnings that they have actually went through. They passed it on, and then whatever I have today is only from what I got from devotees here, the leaders here. So there's a great leadership here in Bangalore. The leadership here are visionaries. Basically, they don't think small, and because they are not thinking small, everything is actually growing big here. And good example is Harikshetra Prabhu himself. He doesn't think small. He actually wants to contribute and do something big. Like so, I'm very sure Bangalore devotees are definitely, I can say, ISKCON Whitefield will not be content with what they have today. It is going to grow big. It is going to grow huge, in fact. So it's a great service, great opportunity that we all of us have got to be part of it, contribute something, and I could also be a part of that. That's all what my credit is kind of here. So definitely wish to thank all of you for giving me the opportunity, especially Harikshetra Prabhu, Krishna Prabhu, for having trust and giving some responsible service where I could also contribute and learn here how to do service. So we are all learning. I am also still learning. So you might have learned something from me. I learned something from seniors. Like you all actually saying that I was the first who actually to do service. Like I still remember in old days when we had only Jagannath Mandir, Seshadripuram temple. I used to come sometime on the weekends for Mangalarti, and after the Mangalarti, I used to chant in the temple hall. And at that time, like all of a sudden, all the devotees actually vanished. Even Krishna Prabhu actually also vanished. I was thinking, what great job they have other than sitting in the temple hall and chanting. So I was thinking like that. Then I went near the kitchen side to actually have some water. But then I was surprised to actually see Krishna Prabhu and Radha Priya Mataji, both of them were actually washing the pots there at that time, during Brahma Muhurta time. Right? I was shocked. Oh, okay, like what kind of leaders they were. They were temple presidents, and they were actually washing pots or the kitchen vessels. They were there in the lying, and nobody washed it. So Prabhu and Mataji himself were washing. So that was the kind of example the leaders have set here. They themselves made their hands dirty, and then they did their service. So if my leaders did that, why shouldn't I do that, kind of like that? So it's natural to actually pass on this great valued heritage that leaders actually have shown here. So it is, Bangalore definitely has been will be in my memory always. I did tell that to Harikshetra Prabhu and Ravindra Prabhu also, is that definitely if things go in favor, I will definitely come back. Because though I got introduced to Krishna consciousness in Coimbatore, Bhakti Vinod Maharaj actually helped me a lot. I in fact wanted to go to Coimbatore years back also to serve Maharaj, but if you honestly actually see, I spend more time in Bangalore than anywhere else, kind of like that. So I have a strong connection with Bangalore, devotees in Bangalore. So if things come in favor, I definitely wish to come back here and continue my service. So I would like to conclude here saying that during the course I might have pushed you hard. Like for example, even Abhayanand Prabhu was saying I made him stay till 5 p.m. and I'm quite 5 a.m. I'm quite sure his family might be cursing those days. Yeah, I would have squeezed a lot of devotees during tough times, especially when it gets closer to Janmashtami. I would have squeezed few devotees, pushed them cross their limits, kind of like that. So sorry for that. Though it's a service, I know a Grahastha actually has a lot of things to actually do, and even my spiritual master used to always say that if Grahasthas are taking up responsibilities, that actually means that they are stretching themselves beyond the limits. So a lot of devotees actually obliged and took up some service responsibility based on request from me. I'm really thankful for all of them for what you call showing their kindness and accepting something, whatever small things I have said. So I'm really sorry if I have hurt you or stretched you and then made was little tough with you at times. Definitely not intended. It was just for the sake of doing nice service to Srila Prabhupada's movement, nice service, nice arrangements for the Lord's pleasure. I might have pushed you a little, so sorry for that. And definitely, as I will be coming here as often as possible, but may not be working around with all of you in the day-to-day services. So if things permit, we will work together again. That's what I can say. I'm sorry, and please forgive me for any offenses or difficulties that I have put to you. I have made you, so it was not intended, but if something had hurt you, I'm really sorry for it. But I definitely want to have nice friendship with all the devotees here, because these are the friendship which are more valuable than relatives or any other material friends that we have. Devotee friends are more valuable because they can remind us Krishna when we are in struggle. So devotee friendship is more valuable, kind of like that. So I value all of your friendship, definitely. So I have a place for all of you in my heart, for sure. So thank you very much for giving the opportunity for serving something to Srila Prabhupada's movement in Bangalore Yatra. So bless me so that I will be able to continue my service wherever I am, whether in Coimbatore or some other place, wherever it may be. Please bless me that I'll be able to continue my service to Srila Prabhupada, continue my service to my spiritual master. They have a visionary task, and I don't know how much I can contribute in that, but whatever I could, I will try my best. Please bless me so that I can continue my services. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, our service to our seniors is about following the instructions, living the examples, living the values that they showed by their own example. So, whatever Prabhuji has taught us, we'll continue same thing, and thus legacy continues. I would like to end this program with a small gift from all these Kagdas Purani, ISKCON Whitefield devotees. I would request all the board members to come and hand over this gift to Bandhu Madhav Prabhuji. Somebody can take a photo.
So this you already discussed with
So the gift that we are giving is a beautiful painting by one of our devotees. Aradhana Mataji is there around? Where she is? Okay, she has done a nice painting of Lord Shri Krishna. That is a gift from.
very nice practice.
Double packing it. No, I think so. So I think it's very fresh painting. I can smell it. Yes, very good. Beautiful painting of Krishna and the gopis rowing in a boat. Boat as Nauka Vihar pastime. Gopis are carrying makhan and dahi in their pots, and Krishna is rowing for them. Hare Krishna. Another gift that we are giving is a Kindle. So Prabhuji likes to read, so we are gifting him one Kindle. Hare Krishna. Hare Hare. Okay, so there's another gift here. Give to him first. Oh, beautiful Jagannath painting, you can say? Yeah. Very good. This is from
Krishna Priya.
This is from Krishna Priya. Hare Krishna. So, before we depart, before we separate, of course, we should come out with all the blessings. And definitely, when we are separating from Bandhu Madhav, I should, from devotees of Kagdaspura and from my side also, I will ask forgiveness from Bandhu Madhav Prabhu that whatever trouble we have given you, please forgive us for that.
should ask
No. So I will say Vaishnava Pranamatra for Vancha Kalpatarudesya Kripa Sindhu अनंत कोटि वैष्णव की जय जय श्री कृपाल की चंद्र माधव प्रभु की हरे कृष्ण.
In fact, I should be asking forgiveness because I think Harikshetra Prabhu gave me responsibility to come here. I was not able to do my service here properly because of difficulties at home. So I know Subandhu Prabhu was expecting me for many helps. I was not there available. So I have to beg actually forgiveness. I couldn't give time to many devotees here. I was in fact supposed to do the study class every weekend. I couldn't do it. So I should actually be asking forgiveness here, not you, Prabhu.
You always expect more. Whatever give us, this will be less only always. But you did your best. You did the best job. Okay. So at the end, I will request all the devotees to get up and come in front of the altar. We'll sing Narsimarti and the continue. Volunteers, please roll the mats. Okay, close that. Thank you.